Another tip is give your students feedback. In face-to-face classes, that is a very easy thing to do because you're seeing them all the time. Whereas online, I think you need to be more intentional. So the question is, how will students know how they're doing in the class and what needs to improve? We usually give our students both formal and informal feedback. So informal is when they come to the class and they're walking in and you go, "Hey, Juanito, I saw that paper you wrote. I loved it." Or, Pedrito, you make sure you come see me after class. And so you do that, or even when you're walking around, you point at something and you tell them that it's well or that they need to change something. And of course, formal are our grades. When we're online, since we're not seeing them face to face, that becomes harder to do. I like to address student questions and student mistakes on things such as frequently asked questions announcements. So if I see that students are asking a question a lot, I can create an announcement for everybody to address those questions. Or frequent mistakes. If I see that a lot of people are doing something, then I can redirect them with a general announcement about things they should be looking out for. And I also like doing wrap-up. So after a project, a major project, or after every couple weeks, we do a wrap-up and I tell them what has been going well, what hasn't gone well. I can do this either by written form or just create a little video and let them know what I'm thinking. And that way they know that I'm watching what they're doing and that I'm happy or not so happy with their work. Assessment, of course, becomes crucial. I'm a big fan of formative assessment and low stakes assessment. I understand that we need summative, high stakes types of assessments like big exams or big papers, but in formative assessment and low stake assessment, we get the opportunity to course correct. So if my students are going to write a paper and before that I have them write a paragraph where I give them comments and give that back to them, then they are ready for that big paper that is going to be more summative. So I really like that. I like using low stakes assessments to prepare them for high stakes assessments. So if my students are going to do a midterm project where they're going to have to make a video, maybe at the very beginning of the semester, I create a little assignment of them creating a little video first, so then I can give them a lot of feedback and it's not worth a lot of points, and then they can create a much better video when it's higher stakes. Exams are one of the things that people really worry about online, because we see them as high stakes and summative types of assessments. And so then we worry tremendously that they're going to cheat. What are we going to do? So my question is, could the exams be more formative? Or could they be more low stakes, be worth fewer points, and then maybe do other types of authentic assessments, such as a project where students really can't cheat because they just have to show their knowledge through creating a project. I know this isn't for everybody because disciplines are different, but if it does fit your discipline, you may want to consider scaling back on the point systems of your exams, or how summative those assessments may be. What I think we can all agree on is feedback through grades. My biggest advice on this is post them, post them, post them. It is so important for students to know what their grades are as the semester progresses. Every time there's an activity, a task, a project, an exam, they should know exactly where they stand at all times. This becomes increasingly important on online teaching. So feedback can include things such as rubrics, especially if you hand back the rubric and you write what has happened. Or maybe the students send you a PDF of their work and then you mark it. There is a program to do that and it's fairly easy. Maybe doing a Google Doc where they send you the Google Doc and then you can write your own things and then they can redo it. Some of us have computer graded types of platforms where students submit work and the computer grades them. And we can also use general announcements and personal communications. Personal communications can become really important on online teaching. And I do like every few weeks to send a personal email to each of the students. It can even be a form email, but you just change the name on top and maybe a few details. But since they're not seeing you so much, I think it is extremely important that they hear something with their name on it. So I hope that these tips help you provide good feedback to your students so they feel that you care about them.